Hey there, everybody. It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of All the Queen's Men, Season 3, Episode 15, Caught Slippin'. I said, oh, Lord, who got caught slipping? You about to find out. That's who. The synopsis reads, Madam dips her toes into politics and finds a new puppet to do her dirty work. Well, we all know that's Miss Tandy. Then it says Trouble and Champ find themselves in another dangerous situation. And that's because that dumb gold chain that Trouble lost. And then it says Midnight questions Doc's loyalty. And so does Madam. I'm adding that part. Anyhow, before we get started, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button. Then I ask that you hit the notification bell and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload some new content to this channel. Then I ask that you smash that like button, write a comment, and join the conversation, and then share because sharing is caring. So this episode starts off with Miss Tandy going to see Madam in her office after Madam told her about herself in last week's episode. And she decided that she's going to do things Madam's way. So Madam said, that's great. Okay, so first order of business when you become mayor is you're going to get that biatch DA in line. You know what I mean? And she said, yes, Madam. She said, I'm telling you, are you going to do this? She said, you are going to be the mayor. She said, are you going to rig the election? She's like, no. She said, I'm going to do you something better. I'm going to endorse you. She said, we got a full house out there. I'm going to take you out there on stage, endorse you. You can shake some hands and say a little something and then be out. But she told her she can't never come back here again into Eden. She's like, what does that have to do? She said it looks bad for optics and everything else that the mayor is hanging out in this daggone place. Even if it is upscale, it doesn't look good. And she said, you're going to have to get your dick at home. And even then, that's going to have to be on the down low. I said, dang, she was serious. So she laid into her. So she took her up on the stage. She introduced her. She said a few words. The ladies were cheering and everything. And then she bounced. Then we have doggone Doc. He goes out the back door with his robe on. And who comes running up but Detective Davis? Talking about she just want a little bit of something. He said, you got some information for Madam? No, I don't. He said, look, I'm at work. I got to go back in. She's like, look, come on. I just want 10 minutes. He said 5. Then it was like 2 minutes or something like that. It was like, she said, my car is right over there. So he goes with her over to her car to, do a little chitty chitty bang bang in it. And Midnight comes out the back door, lighting up to smoke some weed. And he sees him go into the car with him. And he's like, what is going on here? Then we see inside, we got Champ and Trouble. They sitting there talking about their plans or what they planned on doing, this robbing that, what is it, a stash house or whatever it is. Meanwhile, Big D is listening. He's up against the wall listening, and they talking their private business. I said, they so stupid. And he's hearing everything and all the details. And when they finish, he slithers away like a little snake so they don't see him. So now we have this scene with Blue and Dime. And you know what? I find Blue to be a little instigator, y'all. I don't know if the rest of y'all noticed that, but she's always instrumental in starting mess as well in the damn club. Because they're sitting there talking, and first thing Blue says, I hear that you and Amp effing around again. And she's like, where did you hear that? No, we're not. She said it had to come from somewhere. She said, okay, we almost did something, but I stopped it, and I asked him not to say anything. He wouldn't do that to me. And here's Blue. Well, really? You think he wouldn't do that? He'd been running around doing this and doing that and doing that, putting all of that stuff in the Dime's head. And now she's thinking Amp said something. So Dime got upset. She was getting upset. She went over to Amp while he was dancing with some females, and she pulled him aside, and she questioned him about it. And he's like, I didn't say anything. Then how does everybody know? Why does everybody think we F last night? And he was like, it was face. It was baby face running off his mouth. He must have heard us while we were talking. She was like, but you didn't tell him it didn't happen. He got quiet. She said, see, that's why I thought you were different. He said, I am different. I didn't say anything. Can't we just talk somewhere? She was like, I ain't got nothing to say to you. And she walked away, and he yelled, Dime, I didn't say anything. And when he said that, I mean, it was loud. He turned around and there go Big D walking by with a smirk on his face because he done heard it now and know there's trouble in paradise. So now we in the dressing room, locker room of the men of Eden, and Midnight is questioning Doc about that Detective Davis, you sleeping with the enemy, what's going on? He said, I'm doing what Madam asked me to do. I'm pumping her ass for some information. And he's like, literally, he said, that car was going up and down. I thought it had hydraulics. I was laughing. But anyway, he said, don't fall in love with her. He said, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't, you know me, I don't be trusting them messing around or whatever. He's like, all right. So then they ask Face how Tandyland is, and he's telling them that it's great. While she out there shaking hands and kissing babies, I'm in the house, got it all to myself. And I was like, damn. So Fuego said, I hope you're not bringing no females over there to her house. He said, hell yeah, I am. She got this sex room. He said, and I bring girls over and I charge them twice because of that. He said, wait a minute. Midnight's like, wait a minute. She's paying you to stay at her house and then you bringing other females over and charging them double to have sex with you. He said, yeah. They said, oh my God. So somebody said, don't let Miss Tandy find out. And he said, she ain't going to find out. And Fuego said, well, it's done in the dark, will soon come to the light. But now when Faye said nobody's going to find out, the cameras looked over at Amp, who was sitting there. Amp happened to be looking up at him, and then he put his head down and wouldn't look at him. I said, I hope Amp go and tell Miss Tandy about this fool so he could get busted and get his relationship and good thing messed up. It'll serve him right. But then Knight asked Amp why he was so quiet, and he was like, bitch ass Face done went and running his mouth, and now Dime don't trust me. So Face is smiling and laughing, thinking it's funny. And the guys are telling him maybe he don't want to be tied down now. Go out there, mess around a bit with some other women. You know what I mean. And was it sow his oats, his wild oats? Whatever. But anyway, you could tell that Amp wasn't trying to hit him. He's really upset about all of this. So now we got this scene with Champ and Trouble in the car driving back from robbing that stash house or whatever it was. And they talk about it was the easiest job they ever done. And they're laughing about everything. And he's like, how much money do you think we have? And, all of that. And then Trouble realizes she lost her gold chain. And she's like, I don't know where I lost it. And he said, it don't matter. You could get another one. And she's like, right? I could get one for every day of the week. And he's talking about we make a good team. We got to do this again. We could start robbing banks. And she said, hold up, roll back with that. We don't want to do that yet. Talking about they could leave Eden and go do this, that. And I was thinking these two are fools. They bring that drama to Madam's business and she is going to have them both killed. So now we have this quick scene with Blue, Tommy, and Madam in the kitchen, and she's showing them the different knives and how you could use them on a person's body and pressure certain points where you could stab them. And Tommy's seeming uninterested because he feels he knows his way around kitchen knives, and but he ends up learning some stuff from Blue, and Madam starts laughing, saying, "See, I told you you learned something." And so she said, I want us to be prepared because the concierge has been very quiet and we have to be ready for anything. So now we have this scene with D.A. Rods meeting with Miss Tandy. And she was like, I was concerned when you wasn't returning my calls. And she said, oh, no, I've been very busy. And D.A. said, oh, yes, I know you're out there campaigning, going to be our next mayor. She said, it's not just that. She said, we got to lay low for a minute. And she's like, why? She said, well, it's Madam. And she's like, has she been threatening you? She said, no, but I think she's suspicious of our relationship. She said, so what? She said, it's a delicate situation. She said, I don't know why unless you're making promises to her behind my back. She's like, oh, come on, you've known me long enough to know I wouldn't do that. I'm not deviating from the plan. She said, well, you don't sound like yourself. Should I be worried about where your loyalty lies? And she said, of course not. She said, I just think we should lay low for a bit, okay? And she was like, fine, I'll let you take the lead on it. She said, the election is coming up and we have to play it smart. And she said, okay, it makes sense. And then Tandy added, you got to stop telling people you're trying to bring Madam down. That's not helping either. And she's like, she just gets under my skin. And she said, understandable, but you got to relax and stop doing that. And she's like, okay, fine. I'll fall back and let you take the lead. And she said, okay, I'll be in touch with you real soon. So now he switches over to the gym where Fuego and Amp are working out, And I guess Amp just needed time to punch a bag and stuff because he was upset. And Fuego let him know that he's really proud of him for getting his ish together and getting back on the straight and narrow. And Am said, I appreciate you, man, but I'm doing this for Dime. And I'm like, that's the problem. You have to do this for yourself, not for Dime, not for any female. If you want to get your ish together and get back and doing the way you used to be, you have to do it for you and only for you. So Amp went on to say that Dime doesn't even want him back. He don't even feel like doing this anymore. And Fuego told him, don't stop. Don't stop. Just keep going because you'll reap the benefits of it. He said, who knows? Maybe later down the line, Dime will see how much better you're doing. You know what I mean? But Ant wasn't really trying to hear him. And he was punching that bag. And Fuego's like, why you punching it so hard like that? He said, I'm picturing it that is Big D. He said, I tried to apologize to that dude. You saw it, blah, 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 blah. He's going on and on. And he's just punching it and beating it and stuff. And Fuego was trying to talk to him. And it just went in one ear and out the other. And they both just left the gym. They were like, we good for the day. Now over to Trouble and Champ. They counting the money. It's over $500,000 that they got. All of a sudden, they get a knock at the door. They like, who is it? It's Ray Sean. They hiding the money, throwing it away and stuff. Ray Sean coming there, asking them what they doing, what's going on. He's going to the club tonight. He figured that he could work and help pay Madam back. And he thanked Trouble for letting Madam know. So she bailed him out. And she's like, I got you. I got you. Please. And he was like, I never want to get locked up again. And Trouble said, neither do I. He said, what was you locked up for? She like, oh, some past stuff. See, he don't know that they got locked up for the murder of that guy. And that they the ones who dropped the dime and said it was all Ray Shaw. See, they full of ish because they ain't no real friends of his. And so the reason Ray Sean wants to go to the club and dance because he want to try to pay back the money that Madam, put up for his bail. And Champ tells him, as long as you make it to court, Madam will get her money back. He's like, really? He said, okay, I didn't know that. And he wouldn't know that. So he did admit that he feels guilty about killing Jack. But for some reason, I feel like Ray Sean didn't kill Jack. You know what I mean? Remember that video that Fuego gave Madam? We never found out what was on that video, but it was in the hospital on the 3rd floor, which is the floor where Jack was. I have a feeling that somebody took Jack out, that they killed him and made sure he died, like they unplugged something. I don't think he died from Ray Sean's injuries. I think it was something else that killed him. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about that. But they never told us what Madam saw on that video. It's got to come up at some point again. Mark my word, I'm telling y'all. But I'm glad that they told him to stop saying that he killed that man. And Trouble told him when all else fails, plead not guilty. He said, but I am guilty. He said, do you hear what I'm saying? You say I'm not guilty, okay? He said, got you. Poor Ray Sean. Now we have D.A. Rods running into Casanova at the precinct, asking him how's his investigation going with Madam. And he said it's at a standstill. He said, but I thought you said you had Miss Tandy in your pocket, or Miss Watson as he called her. And she said, yeah, I'm not so sure right now. I spoke to her earlier today and something seemed fishy or off about her. She said, but maybe it's all in my head. I don't know because we have so much riding on this. He said, yeah, you might be right about that. Give it a day or two and see how you feel. He said, yeah. She said, yeah, I think I'm going to go visit her. So now back over at Eden, the premier dancers are on the stage performing and Blue goes back there to see Champ in Trouble, and she throws this small yellow envelope at Trouble and tells her, look, I don't work for the damn post office. She said, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I wasn't expecting any package. So but Blue is still sitting there, and Trouble opens it up and sees it's her gold chain that she was missing. And she was like, where'd you get this from? She said they left it at the bar. And so Blue bounced, telling them, stop sitting around, this ain't the damn employee lounge, go out there and make some money. So when she left, Champ and Trouble are talking, and he's like, yo, where's that from? She said, this the chain I lost last night. She said, if they brought it here, that means they know where I work. And he said, that means they know where I work too. So now they shitting in their pants right now. And I feel deep down that it has something to do with Big D. I'm telling y'all now, I have a feeling it has to do with Big D. I don't know why he's picking on them. I don't remember them picking on him. Maybe they did. I'm not sure. I don't recall. I know they picked on Casanova, but not Big D. So he's getting into being a messy person if he's down for it, because he did listen to everything they were saying. Now, the men of Eden get off the stage from performing, and here goes Detective Davis grabbing on the dock, swinging on him. She look all cute in a blue dress, made up, got her singles in the hand and everything, and she's hugging all over him, and he's like, what are you doing? Chill, and all that stuff. And Madam happens to come out and see it. She tells Tommy, go over there and tell Doc I want to see him in my office now. So when Doc gets to our office, he can't even look at Madam. She's asking him questions. What's going on between you two? When's the last time she gave you some information? How many times she been to your apartment this week? And he's talking real low, or he's saying he doesn't know. She said, speak up, mother effer. And she's like, you nigga, you don't know this, you don't know that. She got on his case. She said, you over there catching effing feelings for her. He said, no, I'm not. She said, yes, you are. He said, I'm doing what you told me to do. She said, I told you to eff her, not end up in a whole effing relationship with her. I said, oh my God. And she also let him know that Midnight saw them in the parking lot talking and not effing. I said, Midnight did see them effing later on, but Midnight went back as a tattletale, y'all. Anyway, she told him, he's done with that. She don't need him to do nothing else for him. He was like, no, I got you, madam. She said, no, you don't. I got it from now on. So then she had Blue bring Detective Davis into her office. And she walks in there all giggly and looking cute and feeling sexy. So she's seeing a man now and getting tapped on a regular. You could tell the way she's behaving now. It wasn't how she was all stringent when she was straight up police detective. So Madam asks her, does she have any information for her? She said, no, but my people are on it. She said, on it the way you on Doc's dick? I said, oh, snap, straightforward. And she said, don't act like you surprised. I know you've been effing him since the last time I saw you at his apartment. And she's all giggly like, yeah, well, Doc and I have a connection. Madam said, oh, really? She said, you do know that he's only effing you because I told him to, right? I said, oh. And poor Detective Davis was like, what? I don't understand. Why would you even care who Doc is sleeping with unless you want him for yourself? I said, no, she didn't say that to Madam. And Madam said, because I own him and every other MFer in this club, including you. I said, uh-oh, here we go. And she said, that means whatever I tell you to do, you do. So if I'm telling you not to F him anymore, you don't. Understand? So she said, I understand. And Madam said, great, because understand that your services are no longer required. She said, wait, but I have people out there working on getting you information. And Madam said, I'm good. You can go now. And Blue opened the door and let Detective Davis out. So now it's the end of the night. The guys are tipping out. And Dime gets on my nerves. She need to just stay to her damn self and stop messing with men in the club and everything else. Because Amp is giving her the money. She doesn't want to take it from him. And he's like, Dime, it wasn't me. It was Babyface. He said, Face, tell it was you. He said, it was me. Blame me. And Dime is just sitting there with her face all twisted, head turned, and don't want to look at him. And I said, you know what? He said, see, we back to this old bullshit. And he threw the money down and walked out. And Blue said, look, she doesn't want to talk to you. So then Fuego tipped out, and then Face tipped down. She said, good night, Face. Now, why you going to say good night, Face, to him when he's the one who started the damn rumor? He's the one who started telling everybody, but you could speak to Face. You should be disappointed at him too. And then here comes Big D giving his money. And she's like, thank you. Oh, he said, oh, you speaking to me now. That means I have a chance. And she said, no, it means that I have manners and don't have beef with you. And I'm saying if she had manners, she would have still spoke to Amp and not treated him that way when it was not his fault. The only thing he didn't do is say, it's not true. That's why you got beef. He didn't start the rumor at all. So I'm just disappointed in Dime. She need to stop effing guys up in Eden and stay to herself. And lastly, we have Champ and Trouble tipping out, and they like dragging behind like they scared to leave the damn club. And then when they finally leave the club, they all up on Face, Midnight, and Doc, and they like, yo, get up off of us and stuff. So Trouble goes, why you always gotta separate yourself from us? And Babyface go, because you're not on our level, you losers. So the three of them walk across the street and leave Champ and Trouble standing there, and a white van pulls up real quick, grabs them and throws them in the van and drive off. And the three of them, they turn around and say, what the just happened? They was like gone just like that. Midnight, Face, and Doc was shocked. They don't know what just happened. And that's how it ended. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Put it down in the comment section and let's start a conversation about this craziness, okay? And for those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel as of yet, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will see you all in the next video. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.